Douglas Fairbanks Jr. Born into Hollywood royalty, the son and namesake of silent cinema's most dashing swashbuckler, and stepson of America's sweetheart, Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. made his screen debut in 1923 and went on to make over 60 feature films, working alongside the biggest stars of the era like Greta Garbo in A Woman of Affairs, Joan Crawford, to whom he was briefly married, Loretta Young in 6 different movies, Bette Davis in Parachute Jumper, Katharine Hepburn in Morning Glory, Ginger Rogers in Having a Wonderful Time, and Rita Hayworth in Angels Over Broadway. He became known for his suave, courtly manner, his charming personality, and a debonair style that combined traditional, well-crafted, masculine tailoring with unconventional color combinations and a devil-may-care attitude, like using a necktie for a belt, that demonstrated true sartorial confidence. In 1969, the dashing 6'1" star became one of only 6 male actors to be named to the International Best Dressed list up to that point. The others were Fred Astaire, George Hamilton, Cary Grant, James Coburn, and Harry Belafonte. So what made him one of the world's best-dressed men? For insight, here are Douglas's views on style from an interview he gave to Vogue in 1966. Suits. He felt that as someone in the public eye, he had a responsibility to dress well and would take time to plan out his clothes. He said, quote, "Before I get anything new, I brood about it, try it out on my wife and daughters." Fairbanks believed that the most important thing is that the suit be well cut, that it needn't be particularly new or even particularly well pressed. It will always hang properly. On the topic of shirts, he said, quote, "I suppose I spend more on shirts than on anything else, and I'm not so conservative about them." He bought his shirts from Turnbull & Asser in London, Solka in New York, and Charvet in Paris. Fairbanks preferred to buy his shirts in London than any other place. As he explained it, quote, "London is to men what Paris is to women. It's a town that's set up for it. You find a variety. In Rome or Paris or New York, there are 2 or 3 top tailors or shirt makers. In London, there are 52 all over the joint." A signature detail of the Fairbanks style throughout his life was to add a boutonniere to his jacket lapel, usually red, and provided a dashing accent of color to any look. Patterns. An important part of Fairbanks' style was his ability to combine patterns in ways that were eye-catching without being garish or jarring. He said, quote, "With a striped suit, I wouldn't wear a striped shirt. With a striped shirt, I would wear a plain woven tie in a much deeper or brighter color. The thing to keep in mind really is that the shirt, tie, and suit can't look all the same in color or scale or pattern. And of course, not to be self-conscious about combination." Colors. He enjoyed using surprising combinations of colors and patterns, and especially liked combining reds with blues and blues with yellows. Quote, "When it comes to combinations of patterns and colors, my wife tells me that I run to reds and blues, but I assure you that it's not conscious. I do like blues and yellows, but not beige or tan. Combining the patterns and colors is simply a question of getting a contrast. His massive tie collection provided him endless ways to combine colors and patterns. Fairbanks had so many ties that he stopped buying them as he got older. He remarked that a man had come up to him recently and said, "You're really right up to the minute wearing a wide tie." He responded, "No, I've had this one since 1932. Pocket squares. The one thing that I am especially conscious of is combining ties and pocket handkerchiefs. I avoid matching them at all costs. The pocket handkerchief should be colored and patterned, but not matching the tie. Better to have it related, or even entirely unrelated, so long as they don't look wrong together. Shoes. Fairbanks mostly wore what has sometimes been called the lazy man Oxfords, a shoe with elasticized sides rather than laces, which he'd buy from London shoemaker Henry Maxwell. He said, quote, "I always have shoes with elastic sides. I don't even own any lace-ups any longer." He added, "I usually wear proper shoes except when I'm traveling. Then I wear well-polished tan loafers because they're so comfortable on planes." Hats. Fairbanks was a man who really knew how to wear a hat. He didn't share his thoughts about them, but by the many photos of him wearing hats throughout his life, we're seeing the best looks here, it's obvious he liked wearing them and looked marvelous doing so. Douglas Fairbanks Jr. in a hat is the definition of panache. Evening wear. We end this overview with a look at the ultimate expression of his Hollywood glamour, black tie evening looks. It's unlikely there was a couple in the 1930s that looked as rich, glittery, and chic as Marlene Dietrich and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. during their fiery 4-year affair, which followed his divorce from Joan Crawford. Style such as theirs at that time is impossible to replicate, but the essence of it remains an enduring inspiration. Becoming a well-dressed man like Douglas Fairbanks Jr. doesn't require a massive bank account. As we've seen, it requires just a good tailor, an eye for color and pattern, and a sense of propriety done with an easy touch. Most of all, as he said elsewhere, being a gentleman has nothing whatsoever to do with riches or power, but with consideration of others.